Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girdharidhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girdharidhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girdharidhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girdharidhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuruntamyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity and your precious time to allow me to serve Guru and Guru. We are continuing the theme of what Lord Krishna wants from us, and today we are taking 4 verses, 5 verses from Caitanya Adi, 3rd chapter, 30th to 34th verse. Though these verses are small, but they are all interconnected and they convey a particular theme as we have noticed in past few weeks, past few sessions. चैतन्य सिंहेरा नवद्वीपे अवतार सिंह ग्रीव सिंह वीर सिंहेरा हुंकार. Thus, the lion-like Lord Chaitanya has appeared in Navadvip. He has the shoulders of a lion, the powers of a lion, and the loud voice of a lion. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 31, third chapter. Sei Singha Vasuk Jive Hridaya Kandare Kalmash Viral Nashe Yanar Unkare. May that lion be seated in the core of the heart of every living being. Thus, with his resounding roar, may he drive away one's elephantine vices. In his Pratham Lila Tanra Vishwambar Nam Bhakti Rasa Bharila Dharila Bhuta Brahma. In his early pastimes, he is known as Vishwambar because he floods the world with the nectar of devotion and thus saves the living beings. 33rd. Dughan Dhatu Artha Poshan Dhara Kushila Dharila Prema Diya Tribhuvan. The verbal root Dughan, which is the root of the word Vishwambar, indicates nourishing and maintaining. He, Lord Chaitanya, nourishes and maintains the three worlds by his supreme love of God. And the final verse, 34th verse. शेष लीलाय धरे नाम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री कृष्ण जानिए सब विश्व कैल धन्य. शेष लीलाय धरे नाम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री कृष्ण जानिए सब विश्व कैल धन्य. Just would like to repeat?
No. I was just repeating with you.
Yeah.
334?
334.
Yeah.
शेष लीलाय.
Yeah. Sheshalivaya Dhare Nama Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Janaya Sabha Vishwakaladanya.
Sheshalivaya Dhare Nama Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Janaya Sabha Vishwakaladanya. Sheshalivaya Dhare Nama Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Janaya Sabha Vishwakaladanya.
Thank you. Shesh Leelaya. In his final pastimes, Dhare, he had, now, the name, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, about Lord Krishna, Janaye, he taught, Sab, all, Vishwa, the word, Kaila, made, Dhanya, fortunate. Translation purported by Srila Prabhupada. In his later pastimes, he is known as Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. He blesses the whole world by teaching about the name and fame of the Lord Sri Krishna. Purport. Lord Chaitanya remained a householder only until his 24th year had passed. Then he entered the renounced order and remained manifest in this material world until his 48th year. Therefore, his Shesh Leela, or the final portion of his activities, lasted 24 years. Some so-called Vaishnavas say that the renounced order of life was not accepted in the Vaishnava Sampradaya or the disciplic succession until Lord Chaitanya. This is not very intelligent proposition. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the sannyas order from Sri Keshava Bharati, who belonged to the Shankar sect, which approves of only 10 names for sannyasis. Long before the advent of Sri Pal Shankaracharya, however, the sannyas order existed in Vaishnava line of Vishnu Swami. In the Vishnu Swami Vaishnava Sampradaya, there are 10 different kinds of sannyas names and 108 different names for sannyasis who accept the three danda or triple staff of sannyas. This is approved by the Vedic rules. Therefore, Vaishnava sannyas was existent even before the appearance of Shankaracharya. Although those who know nothing about Vaishnava sannyas unnecessarily declare that there is no sannyas in the Vaishnava Sampradaya. During the time of Lord Chaitanya, The influence of Shankaracharya in the society was very strong. People thought that one could accept sannyas only in the disciplic succession of Shankaracharya. Lord Chaitanya could have performed his missionary activities as a householder, but he found householder life an obstruction to his mission. Therefore, he decided to accept the announced order sannyas. Since his acceptance of sannyas was also designed to attract public attention, Lord Chaitanya, not wishing to disturb the social convention, took the renounced order of life through a sannyasi in the disciplic section of Shankaracharya. Although sannyasi was also sanctioned in Vaishnava Sampradaya. In the Shankar Sampradaya, there are 10 different names awarded to sannyasi. Tirth, Ashram, Van, Aranya, Giri, Parvat, Sagar, Saraswati, Bharati, and Puri. Before one enters sannyas, he has one of the various names for a brahmachari, the assistant to a sannyasi. Sannyasis with the title Tirth and Ashram generally stay at Dwarka, and their brahmachari name is Swarup. Those known by the names of Van and Aranya stay at Purushottam or Jagannath Puri, and their brahmachari name is Prakash. Those with the names of Giri, Parvat, and Sagar generally stay at Badrikashram, and their brahmachari name is Anand. Those with the title Saraswati, Bharti, and Puri usually live at Sringeri in South India, and their brahmachari name is Chaitanya. Sripad Sampradaya established four monasteries in India in the four directions north, south, east, and west, and he entrusted them to four sannyasis who were his disciples. Now there are hundreds of branches of monasteries under these four principal monasteries, and although there is an official symmetry among them, there are many differences in their dealings. The four different sets of these monasteries are known as Anandvar, Bhogvar, Kitwar, and Bhumivar. And in the course of time, they have developed different ideas and different slogans. According to the regulation of the disciplic succession, one who wishes to enter the renounced order in Shankar sect must first be trained by a brahmachari under a bona fide sannyasi. The brahmachari name is ascertained according to the group to which the sannyasi belongs. Lord Chaitanya accepted sannyas from Keshav Bharati. When he first approached Keshav Bharati, he was accepted as brahmachari with the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya Brahmachari. After he took sannyas, he preferred to keep the name Krishna Chaitanya. The great authorities in disciplic succession had not offered to explain why Lord Chaitanya refused to take the name Bharati after he took sannyas from Bharati, until Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj volunteered the explanation that because a sannyasi in the Shankar Sampradaya thinks he has become the supreme, Lord Chaitanya, wanting to avoid such misconception, kept the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya, placing himself as an eternal servitor. A brahmachari is supposed to serve the spiritual master, therefore, he did not negate that relationship of servitude to his spiritual master. Accepting such a position is favorable for the relationship between disciple and the spiritual master. The authentic biographies also mention that Lord Chaitanya accepted the danda, rod, and begging pot symbolic of the sannyas order at the time he took sannyas. Hare Krishna. So interesting verses. Now, it sounds a bit incidental that he was given brahmachari name Sri Krishna Chaitanya Brahmachari, and after he took sannyas, he preferred to keep the name Krishna Chaitanya. Now, just an incident which happened last week. I met, who will be my god brother sister. So one of them was mentioning that I hope I get a name which I can identify with and starts astrologic speaking with the alphabet where my name starts with. Because after the initiation, the name changes because that's the spiritual name, not the biological name which is given to us. So in this case, we are talking to Krishna Chaitanya Brahmachari and becoming Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we realize that Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself coming as a devotee to explain the role of a devotional person and what devotional service is all about. So it's very incidental that he's got the exact name what he has to be. It's incidental but very good coincidence. So the basic thing which kept occurring out here is why did Lord Chaitanya accept sannyas? And as we understood that he appeared in front of us 500 years back and then he remained in this planet physically in front of us for 48 years and rather mathematical at 24th year he took sannyas. So this question has been answered by Srila Prabhupada in various ways. Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Chaitanya is also the master of all wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge and renunciation because he is Sri Krishna himself. He is described as Purna or complete. In the feature of Lord Chaitanya, the Lord is an ideal renouncer, just as Lord Sri Ram was an ideal king. Lord Chaitanya accepted the order of sannyas and exemplified exceedingly wonderful principles of his own life. No one can compare to him in the order of sannyas. Although in Kali Yuga, acceptance of the sannyas order is generally forbidden, Lord Chaitanya accepted it because he is complete in renunciation. Others cannot imitate him but can only follow in his footsteps as far as possible. Those who are unfit for this order of life are strictly forbidden by the injunctions of the Shastras to accept it. Lord Chaitanya is, however, complete in renunciation as well as all other opulences. He is therefore the highest principle of the absolute truth. Lord Chaitanya accepts sannyas, leaving aside his householder life to preach his mission. He has equanimity in different senses. First, he describes the confidential truth of the personality of Godhead. And second, he satisfies everyone by the knowledge and attachment to Krishna. He is peaceful because he renounces all topics not related to service of Krishna. Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan has explained that the word Nishtha indicates his being rigidly fixed in chanting the holy name of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya subdued all disturbing opponents of devotional service, especially the monists who are actually averse to the personal feature of the Supreme Lord. The Lord accepted the sannyas order of life after full consideration. There was no need for Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accept sannyas, for he is God himself, and therefore has nothing to do with the material body, the concept of life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not identify himself with any of eight varnas or ashrams, namely Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanpras and Sannyas. He identified himself as a supreme spirit. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or for that matter any pure devotee, never identifies with the social and spiritual divisions of life. For a devotee is always transcendental to all these different gradations of society. Nevertheless, Lord Chaitanya decided to accept sannyas on the grounds that when he became a sannyasi, everyone would show him respect, and in that way he favored. Although there was actually no need for him to accept sannyas, he did so for the benefit of those who might think him as an ordinary human being. The main purpose of his accepting sannyas was to deliver Mayavati sannyasis. The Kutarikas, Nindaks, Pashandis, and Adham Paduyas all avoided the benefit of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement of developing love of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt compassion for them, and it is for this reason that he decided to accept the sannyas order. For by seeing him as a sannyasi, they would offer him respects. The sannyas order is still respected in India. Indeed, the very dress of sannyasi still commands respect from the Indian public. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas to facilitate preaching his devotional cult, although otherwise he had no need to accept the fourth order of spiritual life. After accepting sannyas order, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attracted the attention of all those who had evaded him, beginning with the logicians. Although Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted Muslims and other malechas, into devotees, the impersonal follower Shankaracharya could not be converted. After accepting the renounced order of life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted many Karunishtas who were addicted to fruitive activities. Many great logicians like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Nindaks, blasphemers like Prakashanand Saraswati, Pashandis, non-devotees like Jagai Madhai, and Adham Paduyas, degraded students like Mukund and his friends. All of them gradually became devotees of the Lord, even the Pathans, Muslims. But the worst offenders, the impersonalists, were extremely difficult to convert, for they very tactfully escape the devices of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mayavati sannyasis are very puffed up if they hold the elevated sannyas title Tir, Ashram, or Saraswati. Even among Mayavadis, those who belong to other sampradayas and hold other titles such as Van, Aranya, Bharati are considered to be low-grade sannyasis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas from Bharati Sampradaya, and thus he considered himself a lower sannyasi than Prakashanand Saraswati. To remain distinct from Vaishnava sannyasis, the sannyasis of Mayava Sampradaya always think themselves to be situated in a very much elevated spiritual order. But Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in order to teach them how to become humble and meek, accepted himself as being to a lower Sampradaya of sannyasis. Thus, he wanted to point out clearly that a sannyasi is one who is advanced in spiritual life, who is advanced in spiritual knowledge, and should be accepted as occupying a better position than those who lack such knowledge. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, unless people accept me, they will be all destroyed. Thus, the merciful Lord accepted the sannyas order. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Kirtanat eva Krishnaya mukta sangha param vraje. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra or the Lord Krishna's name, one is liberated and goes back home, back to Godhead. This Krishna consciousness must be achieved through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One cannot be complete in Krishna consciousness unless he accepts Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates as the only means for success. It is because of these considerations that the Lord accepted sannyas. For thus people would offer him respect and very quickly come to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Since Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, inaugurated the Krishna consciousness movement, without his mercy, one cannot be elevated to the transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness. And Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts sannyas so that even a foolish person who accepted him as an ordinary sannyasi would offer him respect. For this would help diminish his material distresses and ultimately liberate him from the material clutches. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati points out in this connection that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is combined form of Sri Radha and Krishna. Mahaprabhu Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. Therefore, when fools considered Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be an ordinary human being and thus treated him disrespectfully, the merciful Lord, in order to deliver these offenders, accepted sannyas so that they would offer him obeisances, accept him as a sannyasi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas to bestow his great mercy on people in general who cannot appreciate him as Radha and Krishna themselves. Hare Krishna. So this is all I have to say what Srila Prabhupada has told us about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his taking sannyas. Now, as we realize, there are many points which are coming here that he became a sannyasi. Now, many people say that they become renounced because they want to become renounced. But the fact of thing remains that many a times it's a joke I had heard long back that a person was going and there's a floods coming and when the floods come, water actually starts increasing. So this person had some grains and he was trying to save them, but he could not because either he saved himself or he would save the grains. So grains were going away. Then he said, "Oh Lord, I donate this to you." Well, that is not the right renunciation because when the thing is actually going out of your hands and then you claim that it is you are actually giving it charity, that's not a charity. So generally, it is understood that those people become sannyasis most of the time, those who have lost everything in life. But that was not the case with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was just 24 years of age, which is considered prime of youth. Because up to 21, 22 is supposed to be Brahmachari ashram, and after that, if you are following Varnashram, then we come to Grihastha ashram. So that was just the beginning of Grihastha ashram. And when he actually became a sannyasi, and when he was coming back near by his native place, so his mother and wife actually came to see him from a distance, and they very much loved him, and he was also feeling sad about taking sannyas, and because he always wanted, and he there's one pastime where it is mentioned when Shachi Mata was crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already mentioned that whether you see me or not, I'll always be there. In whether I'll not be visible to you in the physical sense, but I'll be always be there. So whenever she would cook, she would find she would be just closing her eyes, meditating on him, and then he will come and eat the food. So he was very much attached to his mother also, and he was very much loving husband also. But then there was a time where he realized that people were not taking him seriously because he was young, very young, and generally people do not associate knowledge with youth. But when a person has become sannyasi, they know that this person has renounced everything. So in India, there is a tradition that they always respect sannyasis. We may not respect for any other reason, but oh, he's a sannyasi, he has given up everything. So we must respect him because then we give him the higher platform. So that's one of the reasons why he came. And some people were criticizing, okay, yes, see how much he is, what sort of a devotee he is. That this stuff, many pastimes had come. So these are small indicators, but as Shilpava explained philosophically, uh, we are told in the temples that there are 10 offenses or Vaishnava aparats. So one of them is blaspheming the devotees. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, he realized that if he is being criticized, so that means these other people who are criticizing him will actually go to hell. So then he realized that if I become a sannyasi, of course, then they realize that okay, yeah, he has given up everything, then they'll be respecting me. If not as a devotee, if not as God's representative, as a sannyasi, they will still respect. And I was reading one pastime when somebody just sent me a message about this Saint Tulsidas that why what about taking names? Are we supposed to get some benefit? So he just mentions that okay, if you are sowing seeds in the soil, whether it's upside down or downside up, it doesn't matter because when the right time comes, it starts growing. So it doesn't matter how you are taking, but as long as you are taking name of Lord Krishna or Lord Ram, you are actually taking names. So slowly it actually starts that bhakti lata or that creep of devotion actually starts growing. So it's important that we take names. It doesn't matter how we are taking names, but as long as we are taking names and our consciousness is right, slowly Krishna will give us the intelligence to grow in our devotional life and perfect our lives. So if you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
This last part, Prabhu, you read from?
Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi, Lila.
No.
Which ones? I read many.
Yeah, the one we first read, it was 354, and then you continued.
Yeah, even the explanations I have taken from various purports which Shilpapad has mentioned.
Various purpose.
Which one?
Yeah, you read
Yes.
just 334, or you read something else? More?
Yeah, I read verses from 30th to 34th.
Yeah, but the purport you read only 34, and that's all?
Yes.
I thought you were reading something more.
Yeah, that is the explanations of these five verses.
Explanation from where?
They are also again from Chaitanya Charitamrita, from various chapters.
Where it can be found?
If you want, I can give you all those.
Are they, it's like a collection or what?
No, they are taken from different places, but I can give you all those.
It's Srila Prabhupada's commentaries?
Of course, I don't give any commentaries on my own.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
asking
Yes.
because I could not follow on my phone just following the purpose.
Yeah.
So it must be from someone.
No, no, it's all from Shilpa Prabhupada only.
Yeah, sure, but from where?
Chaitanya Charitamrita itself.
But the number would.
Okay, the last one which I mentioned is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi, 8th chapter, 11th verse.
Okay, okay, yeah, because I could not follow, so I was trying to find and I could not find. So you have the collection.
So when I come here, I come as a fool. So I just try to understand if I'll be talking about this. And when I was reading this theme, suddenly I realized that I can't understand why he took sannyas. That was the question kept coming. Because one thing which I realized that Shilpa realized that there will be many fools like me. So he has put everything in a simple manner. And but I'm so foolish that I have to read the same thing again and again to understand why these verses are coming in that particular following order. Like you realize sometimes like verses are straight away coming from Bhagavad Gita. So I wonder that I read in Bhagavad Gita, why are they coming here? So same way I was reading like this, some verses come from Srimad Bhagavatam and then Chaitanya Charitamrita. So sometimes literature is coming, most of these verses are in Bengali and suddenly they become in Sanskrit. So it becomes a bit like what happened? So just to understand that why, what is Srila Prabhupada trying to understand, I keep writing and then this conclusion came to me that why he took sannyas. And then I realized, yes, he had everything going for him. Like it's mentioned that when he would get angry with his mother, so he would just break all the pots and then she'll say, okay, it's a good thing the pots are getting old, so you broke them. Now we'll get new ones. But why did you break them? And then he'll go away and bring some gold coins. Of course, he is Krishna, he can do everything. But Shachi Mata would think, okay, he is earned from somewhere. So he was such a loving son also and he could do everything. Then why did he take sannyas? So everything has some logic. It's like a game of chess which is going at very high level, where everything has some sense, some relation, some intelligence behind it. But it's for us to figure out. So when I'm going through again and again and again, so I'm just trying to understand. Like today, I was just wondering, like the theme that kept coming out here, that why did he accept sannyas? And then I was relating to the previous verses because if you read one verse in one place, and if you don't have the background behind that, so it you can give interpret in any manner like kaleidoscope. But fact of thing remains that then a person who is actually following all the verses suddenly feels that now what is this context is saying. So unless you understand the previous context and future concepts, it becomes a bit difficult to come to that point. So previously we understood what Krishna wants from us, and here we are talking. He is taking sannyas. So why is he taking sannyas? So basically, it again goes back to the same question: why he, what he actually wants from us? Krishna is our well-wisher. He's our foremost parent. In fact, I'm not understanding that verse, remembering that verse, but it was told to us by our. It was in our textbook in India in subject Sanskrit, and our teacher mentioned that the troubles which parents take, mother and father take to give us birth and take care of us, the pious credit of that or the duty towards us becomes so much that even if you take millions of lifetimes of births, we still cannot overcome that debt which is given to us. Now, I was searching, but then I realized then is it mentioned by Shri Prabhupada? It's not, but I just remembered from it was I was learning. So that set me again into thinking that if we are so much indebted to our biological parents, who are again given to us by our spiritual parents, so how much indebted we should be to our spiritual parents when we are so much indebted? We are supposed to be so much indebted to our biological parents. I was once watching a drama in which Bharat Maharaj is very angry. Lord Bharat is very angry as his mother Kaikeyi had forced Lord Ram to go for Vanvas. So when he comes to ask him, "Oh, please come back to kingdom. I don't want to become." That was my mother's crooked trick, and she just did on the hearsay of mantra. So please come back. She's such a bad mother. She's a kumata. So then Lord Ram corrected him, says, "No, there's no such thing as bad mother. they can be only bad sons. So whatever mother says or father says, there is nothing bad about it. It's only the son or daughter who is bad. That was the understanding. So here we are seeing that to a biological parent, if we have to be so grateful and so indebted, so how much we should be towards our spiritual parent. So believing with this theme, and especially when we realize, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing this pastimes in the total renunciation. But at the same time, why is he doing that? He has shown various opulences, but here why is showing the renunciation? Because he is again merciful, so he realizes that if they are doing Vaishnava aparadh, so they will go further and further down. But if I take this sannyas, if not me, my dress appeals to them, then they will actually start respecting. And if you just take name of Krishna, Krishna actually starts looking at you. So if they are seeing me in this dress, like we realize this pastimes of Ajamil, he had not named his son Narayan, thinking of Lord Narayan, but it was Sukriti, which he had also done during his this as a brahmachari. What pastime he had done, so he had this Sukriti to name his son as Narayan, not out of anything else, but just say, okay, this is my child, so out of physical love, I named this Narayan. But that physical gesture also was so powerful that he was saved.
Yeah.
So we see that as we mentioned, like okay, seed whether you go upside down or downside up, it always comes in the right direction. Same way when you are taking about and Krishna consciousness, whatever is our conscience, but if you are talking about Krishna, whatever way, actually we get the benefit. If you take it rightly, again that knowledge of taking it rightly comes from Krishna only. So when we are taking that knowledge also rightly, Krishna gives us further knowledge, then we start advancing faster. So that's why I was thinking about it. So that's why I have to understand because this was quite complex. Let me be very honest about it. These verses I was realizing they were looking because generally I try to take only one verse and talk about it, but then I realized they were trying to say something. It was a very complex puzzle. To solve that, I have to go through all that. So that's what I was sharing, and I cannot take the chance of giving my own interpretation out here because they are so complex. Because you are better educated, better intelligent than me. So if I say something and if I put my words, I might be distorting the meaning and the what is coming from parampara. I'll be going against that. That's not happening. Yes, true.
Well, so nice when we read Chaitanya Caritamrita, we see how loving Mahaprabhu is towards his mother. Like for and after taking sannyas, did he see his mother anymore or
Yes,
just
from
distance? Or?
from a distance. But invisibly he was always there. So mother could sense, okay, she has made shark, and okay, that shark is gone. And then he would come to her in her dreams and in realization, okay, I have already come in there. So that she knew that, okay, he's there.
Mm. Yeah.
Because Krishna protects everyone, and the one who's loving him, he will be extra merciful towards that person.
Yeah.
So to his mother, he was always coming, wherever he was.
Yeah.
Physically, he was not visible. He had mentioned that physically you may not see me, but I'll always be there.
Mm.
So she realized.
Yeah.
And that's why many times it was shown Hare Krishna. So many times it was like that she was cooking and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come and eat, and then she would wake up and then from her deep meditation, and then she would say food in her. So she was wondering, did I cook? So she will again be cooking. So it was not a joke. Whatever he said, he did.
Yeah. So nice.
So any other question or any? Oh, Harish, thank you.
Great Krishna.
Let's go to the question.
It looks fun. You know, then